The three were greeted on Coruscant's surface, and the Jedi were congratulated for their successful mission. Afterwards, Padme greeted Anakin, and she had news. The Senator had fallen pregnant, but to be honest, the Jedi had been fighting hefty in the Clone Wars, so how did she get pregnant? Mr. Cankers, I do believe, used that joke in Star Wars lore episode 90, The Life of Padme Amidala. Skywalker told her that it was the happiest moment in his life, and to not worry about the repercussions the pregnancy could cause. However, later that night, he faced a dream similar to the one he had of his mother. In it, Padme was in pain and died during childbirth. Still feeling guilty about Shmi, Anakin promised his wife that he wouldn't let the nightmare become reality. Not long after, Palpatine appointed the Jedi as his personal representative on the Jedi Council, fearing the Council were plotting against him. Although the Council granted him a seat, he was not awarded the rank of Master. This angered Skywalker. As it turned out, he was only accepted so that he could spy on the Chancellor on behalf of the Council. As the recently added council member sat with Palpatine in the galaxy's Opera House, he was told about the tragedy of Darth Plagueis, someone who could preserve life but was ultimately killed. This planted the seeds in Anakin's mind of preventing his wife's death. Sometime later, the Chancellor revealed to Anakin that he was familiar with the dark side of the Force. This screamed out, "Sith Lord alert!" to Skywalker, and so he rushed away to tell the other Jedi, although Palpatine told him that if he did, he wouldn't be able to save Padme. Anakin reported the discovery to Mace Windu, and was told to stay put whilst he led a group of Jedi in arresting the Chancellor. Against Windu's word, Skywalker later made his way to Palpatine's office. He found Windu pointing his lightsaber in the face of the seemingly defenceless Chancellor. Whilst Mace wanted to kill the Sith Lord, Anakin wanted to have him face trial. Feeling conflicted because of this, and knowing Palpatine could save his wife from dying, the Jedi cut off Windu's hand. The Sith Lord then used Force Lightning to catapult the Jedi Master out of the nearby window. You could say Windu hates windows. Following Anakin's betrayal of the Jedi Order, he became the apprentice of Darth Sidious. Shortly after Order 66 commenced, which had the clones turn on the Jedi, the now Darth Vader marched into the Jedi Temple alongside the 501st Legion and wiped out most Jedi, including younglings. Afterwards, Vader told Padme that the Jedi had tried to destroy the Republic and that he was headed for Mustafar. Before he left, they kissed and he promised her that he would end the war. On Mustafar, he killed the Separatist leaders and shut down the droid armies. After completing his task, Vader saw that his wife's starship was about to land on the planet. Although he initially warmly greeted her, the Sith turned on his wife when he saw Obi-Wan Kenobi step off her ship. Vader angrily force-choked the pregnant Amidala, believing her to have betrayed him. A lightsaber duel soon broke out between him and his former master. The fight was intense and was spread across a wide range of areas, including large steel structures and the pools of lava that covered most of Mustafar's surface. Although Vader arguably had the upper hand throughout the fight, he found himself on lower ground than his opponent. Believing he was powerful enough, and against the advice of Obi-Wan, the Sith jumped up and over the Jedi. However, Kenobi cut off his organic limbs and he slid down the mount. Obi-Wan became very emotional, stating that Skywalker failed in his duty of being the chosen one and that he was like a brother to him. The Jedi never had it in him to slay the defenseless Sith, so he took his lightsaber and left him to be engulfed by flames from the lava. Although Vader suffered immense wounds, he was found just in time by Sidious, who immediately had him treated. He was encased with a mechanical suit that would keep him alive. Upon regaining consciousness, Vader asked of Padme's fate, to which his master informed him of her death, of course caused by Vader. This enraged him and he let out a big "No!" Unbeknownst to the two, Amidala had given birth to the twins before she passed away, naming them Luke and Leia. Because he had lost all that he loved, Vader truly embraced his role as the apprentice of Sidious. He overlooked the construction of the Death Star with his new master and prepared for a life serving the dark side of the Force. Vader quickly became a very important asset of the Empire. Whether it was leading TIE fighters in space or stormtroopers on the ground, the Sith Lord always got the job done quickly and efficiently. Early into the life of the Galactic Empire, Sidious ordered Vader to either kill or turn to the dark side the children of the Force. On Lothal, he came into contact with the Jedi Kanan Jarrus and his apprentice, Ezra Bridger. A lightsaber duel broke out, and Vader nearly killed Bridger, but his master rescued the youngster. Although the fight ended with rebels throwing thermal detonators at the Sith Lord, Vader survived and continued his mission. Not long after, the former Jedi located and attacked the rebel fleet in his own TIE fighter. During the fight, Vader sensed his former Padawan, Ahsoka Tano, and so pursued the Togruta, who was aboard the Ghost. Unfortunately, the rebels managed to escape, which included Tano. The Emperor told Vader not to worry though, as Ahsoka may lead them to Kenobi at some point. In the meantime, the Sith Lord sent 2 Inquisitors to hunt down the rebels. As Star Wars Rebels is an ongoing series, more of the storyline is yet to be revealed, so keep watching the TV show, everyone! The Galactic Civil War began in 19 BBY, after the Alliance to Restore the Republic stole Death Star plans. Knowing the rebels may use his plans to find weaknesses in the battle station, the Emperor tasked Vader with retrieving them. In addition, the Sith Lord was to find the rebels' hidden base in an attempt to wipe out the enemy. He found out that Princess Leia Organa had the plans and was travelling to Tatooine with them. Pursuing his task, Vader chased down the Tantive Fort with his flagship, the Devastator. After immobilizing the ship, stormtroopers flooded the Tantive Fort and engaged the rebel forces. After the opposing soldiers were wiped out, Vader entered the ship and interrogated the captain, Ramus Antilles. After killing him for not revealing the needed information, the Sith Lord moved on to the princess. Although she also never revealed where the plans were, he took her as a prisoner. Unbeknownst to Vader, Leia had placed the plans inside R2-D2, which used an escape pod to land on Tatooine. After being informed about the launched escape pod, Vader sent stormtroopers to investigate whilst he escorted the princess to the Death Star. Even though Organa was interrogated with an, get this, interrogator droid, I bet that one was a shocker, the princess still never revealed any information. Grand Moff Tarkin then came up with another way to retrieve the information they wanted. The Death Star was positioned just above Alderaan, Leia's homeworld. The princess was asked to give away the location of the secret rebels' base, or the planet would be destroyed. Fearing for the lives of millions, Organa told Vader and Tarkin that the rebels were on the planet Dantooine. However, the Grand Moff knew it was a lie and had Alderaan destroyed. The full power of the Death Star was displayed as the entire planet was obliterated incredibly quickly. After the event that left the princess mortified, she was taken back to her prison cell by Vader and awaited execution. Before the Sith Lord could kill the princess, the Millennium Falcon was captured by the Death Star's tractor beam. Vader speculated that the ship had rebels on it who were trying to get the Death Star plans back to Organa. However, when searched, the Falcon appeared to have no life forms on it. Appeared being the key word there. Not long after, Vader sensed his old master, Kenobi. He hadn't felt his presence since Mustafar and so searched for the Jedi. A little while after learning Princess Leia had been released from her cell, the Sith Lord came across his former master, who had deactivated the tractor beam. Vader realised that Obi-Wan was just an old, weak man, and that he was much stronger than the Jedi. However, Kenobi revealed that he would become incredibly powerful if he was struck down. Obi-Wan then noticed his companions, Luke Skywalker, Han Solo, Chewbacca, R2-D2, C-3PO and Organa, were fleeing to the Falcon and needed a distraction. At that point, he lifted up his lightsaber and Vader cut him down, leaving the Jedi's robe to fall to the ground. Luke, who was being taught the ways of the Force by Obi-Wan, let out a classic no. Although the alerted Imperials tried to stop the rebels, the Millennium Falcon and its crew departed the Death Star. Afterwards, Vader confirmed with Tarkin that the Empire had managed to place a homing beacon on the Falcon. This would allow them to find the rebel base. The Death Star followed the Falcon to Yavin 4 and prepared to destroy the rebel base, ending the conflict. However, armed with the Death Star plans and knowing a weakness in the structure, the rebels launched an attack on the battle station. The chances of the enemy hitting the exhaust port, which would cause a chain reaction and destroy its core, was very small, and so Tarkin felt confident. Vader had all fighters engage the rebel ships, and the Sith Lord joined in on the action himself when a few ships began the trench run. Vader made an instant impact. He killed Red Leader Garvin Drace before damaging Wedge Antilles' X-Wing. Not before long, Biggs Darklighter was also killed, leaving just Skywalker to destroy the Death Star. He realised that the young pilot was strong in the Force, but was nearing ever closer to targeting the pilot's X-Wing. However, before he could fire, the Millennium Falcon appeared and destroyed the TIE fighters accompanying Vader. The Sith Lord's ship was sent uncontrollably away from the trench in the commotion. Left with no enemies tailing his ship, Skywalker used the Force and the advice of Kenobi to fire a miracle shot into the exhaust port. The Death Star was destroyed soon after, killing many Imperials, including Tarkin, and it was a massive blow to the Empire. After Vader sent a distress signal to the Devastator and was rescued from the Yavin system, he was sent to a weapons factory on Cymoon 1. He went there to negotiate with associates of Jabba the Hutt about the supply of materials to the facility. However, Lee associates were actually rebels. When Vader was about to enter the factory, he was shot by one of the rebels, Chewbacca. But the Sith Lord deflected the bolt and actually used stormtroopers as shields from the following shots. He had his men search the facility for rebel forces, and not long after, he felt the presence of the pilot who destroyed the Death Star, Luke Skywalker. The Sith Lord soon encountered the boy and a lightsaber duel broke out. He easily outmatched Skywalker, but he noticed the Jedi had been trained by Kenobi and had Vader's former lightsaber. He took back his Jedi weapon and prepared to execute the youngster for not revealing information about the rebellion. Unfortunately, an AT-AT hijacked by the rebellion split the two apart. The Sith Lord later attacked the hijacked vehicle. He brought it to its knees and nearly destroyed it single-handedly. However, as the walker fired at Vader, he lost the blue lightsaber he took back from Luke. The rebels managed to escape the facility, much to the distaste of Vader. As he watched the Millennium Falcon flee, he said out loud, as if talking to Kenobi, that he would turn Skywalker to the dark side and use him as a weapon against the Rebel Alliance. Afterwards, Vader returned to his master in the Imperial Palace on Coruscant. Palpatine was not impressed by the destruction of the Death Star and the failure on Cymoon 1, two events that nearly destroyed the Empire. The Emperor put a lot of the blame on Vader, causing a massive rift between the two, their first big falling out. To be honest, going about 20 years without arguing is pretty good. They would make a great couple, providing Vader is over Padme, of course. Because Vader was angry with his master, he never told him about his encounter with the Force-sensitive boy. It's important to note he still never knew his name at this point. A little while later, he found the bounty hunter Boba Fett whilst negotiating with Jabba the Hutt. He tasked him with finding the Force-sensitive rebel so he could be turned to the dark side. He was disappointed to hear that Fett was unable to capture the boy, but he did reveal to the Sith Lord the rebel's identity. After hearing that the Jedi was Luke Skywalker, he remembered Amidala was pregnant and must have given birth to his son before she died. The revelation hit him in ways he didn't expect. Now it's time for this week's question. Well, part 2 of it anyway. Do you feel satisfied with Anakin's transformation into Vader? Let me know in the comments below.